Liverpool versus everybody. How's everybody doing? Hope you had a good weekend. Premier League fixtures are over with, so it's back to European football. Um, Roma, we know what it is. Heading out there. Um, there's been a slight. Let me start with the great news. I know it's late, so I know a lot of people probably won't be joining me here. That's fine. Hopefully, you can watch it later, whatever. Firmino, 5-year extension. I believe that's the case. That's big. That's big for him to dedicate his time to Liverpool. Saw some of the interviews that he had, and he seems pretty pleased about it. He loves playing for Liverpool. He loves going into the city and speaking to the fans. And you can see that. You can see that. There's no real question when it comes to Firmino and his dedication, and that's really big for us moving forward. I think potential players that are coming in would have watched Liverpool under Klopp for all this time, especially this season. I think you can see how some of these players under Klopp, they have kind of just bloomed and blossomed. You see Mane at Southampton. He was one of their best players. Not sure how consistent he was, but you can see how he's become that much more potent under Klopp. Firmino, I don't know his best season in Germany or wherever he was before then, but I'm sure it doesn't top what he's doing at Liverpool, and of course Salah. You know the story from Chelsea to Fiorentina to Roma. Sure, he showed some great signs. I don't think anyone saw him doing exactly what he's doing now. I thought he'd be good, but this is a different level. So Klopp does deserve a lot of respect, obviously, and you could arguably say in different systems under different managers, these players may not be functioning the way they are at such a high level. So, again, Firmino is kind of the central part of that. Salah gets a lot of plaudits. Mane the season before was our probably could say best player, according to most fans and probably teammates as well. But Firmino really, really is the key to what we do going forward. That's just the facts. That's just facts. And I think if we're talking about guys who miss out in games and who you prefer not to, of course, Salah with his output and everything he's done this season. But to me, it's Firmino. You lose Firmino, you lose kind of that key. And everything he does on the other side of the ball, off the ball, pressing guys, whoever's the defenders for the team we're playing against, the opponent, he's pressing them, he's making their life a living hell. So, listen, Firmino is slowly but surely becoming, I think, one of the best at his position because he can do so many things. He may not be a lethal guy like, say, Lewandowski or Dybala or some of these maybe more familiar, if you will, strikers, number nine. So, but to me, Firmino is definitely the glue that keeps what we do going forward together. Dropping down in the midfield, the passing, just amazing. So that's really, really, really good news. And like I said, will help with bringing guys in. They can see how pivotal he is to, fast guys or guys on the wings. How much he's gonna, how much a player could benefit from having that guy being that center attacking player. So that's again amazing, amazing. I know it was coming at some point. It's glad to see it's actually over the line. There's been some rumors here and there. We talked about it on the Half Hope Hangouts, which if you guys don't check out every Sunday, please look into it. And a lot of you guys love Drifty. He's on it. Juju, we got A1, a lot of good people on there, man. So definitely check it out when you can. I try to make it most Sundays, but someone brought up this thing about Jeko Buvac, I think his name is, the assistant manager at Liverpool, quitting the team. Apparently for some beef he's had with Klopp over the past few months or whatever, and that's been kind of kept secret, hush. I'm not having it. I'm not buying it. I don't. The Daily Report, I think it was, and Metro. I don't know how much you could really go with them. I don't. Of course, I don't know the papers over there in England, but no one official. There's nothing that's come up from James Pierce or the club that I've seen. So I think that's just another tactic that people try to use, especially or just like they did with Sadio saying he was hurt. Or severely hurt, and he was going to miss some game time, but serious game time. But yeah, I hope that's not the case. I don't think it is, but we'll see. Only time will tell. Before we know it, it'll be Tuesday, and Sir Klopp will come out in the press. Something will come soon, and until that comes, I'm not going to believe these articles about there being some kind of beef between Klopp and his main man. I mean, he's been with him for I don't know how many years, but a long time, and it would seem like any kind of beef they may have had between two grown men, I would say they probably would consider each other best friends. I'm sure they'd be able to work that out. Then again, you never know. You never know. But yeah, hopefully that's nothing to that. But yeah, on to the got that out the way. On to the Roma Liverpool game, and I've said it before. I've said it. I've been saying it all week. Social media, here and there, to different people. Just hoping everybody is safe. You know, hoping guys are on their best behaviors, um, and that we can limit the issues that happen. I've seen all type of threats from. I don't know if they're really serious Roma ultras or not, but I've been looking up information. I've been seeing people making threats, saying that Liverpool's going to catch more when they come there. So Liverpool fans are going to catch more when they come there. So I mean, you take that for what it is with social media and things like that. If you're not talking to an actual person, you can't see an actual person. Some of these things you just kind of sweep under the rug. They're kind of empty threats, and nobody's really going to do anything. But I think this is a different kind of territory. And for all the people who are knocking others for trying to, or not trying to, but offering some support and some advice, and other people kind of being naive to think it's not that big a deal. To me, that's a shame, you know, because it potentially is a big deal. Now, there are people who go to games all season and away, home, wherever they travel the team around. So sure, they have an idea of how these things go, but um, you can't discount that idea or that fear maybe people might be have or kind of hesitation to go or not, or if they go, again, offering different ways to try to help people keep safe and all that. I just think it's great. It's crazy for people to try to flip that as if it's not a big deal, and people are using scare tactics. It's just life and death. You know what I mean? And that's unfortunate because it's a football game, and you know but it is life and death, unfortunately, when it comes to some of these different territories. And it's not enough to just know the score. You can know the score and still get stabbed up, trust me, or shot up, or beat to death, or whatever. I don't care about knowing the score. Off the field, there's no score. There's no game. There's nobody nobody's getting a goal or whatever. It's life and death, and you have to protect yourself. So hopefully, we're doing that. Into the game. Listen, there'll be a lot of talk about Lovren and his potential to have these brain farts and not have a good game. Again, back to the hangouts. Jifty and I both, among some other people, I think said that, look, on the surface, Lovren is a decent defender. He's a good defender. He has some good qualities in him. Um, he has moments where he, just checks out. And unfortunately, they tend to be more or less in big games, or they seem to be. I think he has more good games than bad, but because the mistakes he makes are mistakes that he's made more than one, two, three times, it is irritating. And it comes to the point now where, for myself, only speaking for myself, I come to just not expect him necessarily, but I'm not as mad as I was maybe the first, second, or third time. You know what I mean? Because I know he has it in him, and I just hope that for large parts of the game he'll be good. And if he does make a mistake, it's not something that costs us. That's a way you don't really want to think about it with your team, but that's the way that works best for me. When he has these moments, I'm not gonna curse him, or because I know he has them in him. He has these moments in him. I just hope that over the course of the rest of this season, he can limit those. I would hope that he doesn't have any more. Hopefully the situation with Jekko and the first tie, the home tie, was the last we'll see of it. Am I banging on that? Probably not. But again, um, if he was such a weak link, and Roma surely would probably know that. I think most teams going into it, when you look at the opponent, the defenders, you obviously look at the weak links, and I'm sure some people would probably have looked at Lovren as being a weak link. Why didn't they target that more? I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what the manager of that team, David Francesco, was thinking. I really don't. That high line, having your guys, the defenders up that far from the goal, and knowing they don't have a prayer as far as catching down our wingers, that didn't really make sense to me. So again, I've said it before. I thank him for that. I thank him for that. But to me, that's suicide. And so, listen, they got to go all out. For all this talk about how good they are at home, defensively, and what they did to Barca, yada yada. Listen, they don't play a team like this in their league. The closest team to it maybe Napoli, but even that, they're not Liverpool, obviously. And so the pace that they'll have to deal with is something that will give them a problem. And they can't just come there and be Stoke. They can't just come there and be Swansea, or this kind of compact, soaking up type of defense of play. They can't do that. They have to come out and be aggressive. They have to. And once they do that, we all know it's the same story. When teams open up against Liverpool, we take advantage of that more times than not. So to me, I don't see anything else but a win here. I just don't. I can't. I don't. I'm not sure how anybody can come up with some kind of way that they could. Look, listen, everything's possible. That's obvious. You know, everything is possible. It could happen, um, but that's just not something that I think will. And I'm definitely very extra confident in Liverpool to get it on. Now, no, you'll see that the image for the channel has changed, maybe temporarily. I don't know, but you know, Ox has been a big guy for us, and it's obviously it's very sad that he's gone, and it continues to highlight our depth or lack thereof. So I want us to do this for Liverpool. We need to do it. Klopp deserves one. Getting us into this will be the third final we'll be going into. Hopefully, we can get this one. But Ox, you know, what I mean, just do it for him. You know, what I mean, do it for him. Do it for the fellow who was hurt at Anfield before the match last game, which I hope his family and everybody's okay as okay as they can be, and hopefully he's recovering okay. Um, but let's do it for Ox. Let's do it for the gentleman who was hurt. Let's do it for the club. We got everything right on this, you know, and we have it within us to do it. A lot of people are talking about our depth and our bench being the reason why they don't really see us getting far, but people didn't think we would get past Porto. They didn't think we would get past City. We did those things. We're about to get past Roma, who beat Barcelona. So, you know, they're going to continue to be naysayers and doubters, and we just got to continue to prove them wrong. It's as simple as that. So, um, I think Klopp came out and spoke pretty strongly about supporters at the home match against Stoke, and I loved what he said. You know, you can think about you can think what you want about that, but I think what he said was right. And you know, it's too easy for people to say that the tourist fans are the reason why they do this. The wolves, the plastics, the fake fans, as they call people who some refer to people who aren't from Liverpool. And I think a lot of people in Liverpool, if they had it their way, it wouldn't be as big as the club as it is. They prefer to be just a Liverpool thing, and that would make them happy. They could care less about all the money Liverpool is making across the world, and them traveling in the summer, and them having fans from every walk of life, every race, every creed, everything. Liverpool has an amazing amount of support worldwide, and I think it's a beautiful thing. So yeah, I think it's just too easy to blame that on tourist fans or fans who aren't from Liverpool. And Klopp was right there at the game. The I think maybe in the first half hour to 45 minutes, first half, um, but it definitely died out to where you could start hearing Stokes saying songs, Sign On and all this other foolishness that away fans will sing. And listen, so you hope that's not a problem in midweek. We're not at home, but you got to believe that the traveling fans will be there. They'll be loud. They'll be supportive, and they'll be that extra, push and help that the team needs. But either way, it's a tie we should wrap up, and I don't see why we couldn't do that. We won't do that. So, hey, what's up, Carl? World's used in business. We have 3 minutes left. And yeah, no, that's something to definitely be worried about. I mean, I totally get that, and again, it would be nice if we didn't even have to worry about these league games right now, but we can't. That's a situation we put ourselves in. Because I personally would have wanted to rest more than we rested against Stoke, but we can't do that, and we won't be able to do it in the last 2 games, of course. So yes, that's a worry. To go from 9 midfielders to 3 is a worry. Almost 2.5. You never really know with Henderson. He's got his issues. But again, it reassures that you can't even going into the season. Lallana was suffering more than maybe Sturridge was. I mean, as bad as Sturridge has had it for Liverpool. So you knew that might be an issue. Henderson can't finish the season. We knew with the injury issues that Ox brought over from Arsenal. So it's always really tricky, and I think Klopp, has been at Liverpool long enough to know that you got to strengthen even more, maybe. You know what I mean? You know, go get that extra 1 or 2 player in a certain position because of our injury history. And it could be fluke situations of guys getting hurt. We just don't know Emery. Emery's one of them guys who plays injured. So, and we don't really know what's going on with Emery. Looks like he might be leaving for sure now. But again, we don't know. Maybe he'll hit a U-turn. We'll see what happens. I'm more focused on the players that are playing and that want to be here and that are helping us, accomplish our goals. So yes, the midfield thinning out is a concern. You can't run away from that. That's definitely a concern. But this is what we got. This is what we got based on kind of injuries came out of nowhere, but some injuries that we kind of saw that could happen. You know what I mean? And we probably just didn't prepare for them the best that we could. So we know Klopp. He really likes to bring guys in, especially in January, unless it's a guy he's had his eye on for a while, and a guy like Van Dyke, things of that nature. But he likes to stick with the guys he has, the guys who've been in preseason. He knows them. He's trained with them. He's battled with them. So at the end of the day, he's got to catch on to that next season. I just hope at the end of the season we don't have these same issues. We should not be scrapping and fighting, for our top four lives. We should be there comfortably. I mean, the season we've had with all these draws that haven't been good, of course, but they are points. But the grand scheme of things, you pick up just maybe a handful of those. You pick up the other 2 points in those, and it's a different situation. So we're in a situation that we've gotten ourselves in. It's not really more than that. Yes, we've had a season of a lot of unluck with these refs. I mean, that's just the fact. That's not me making excuses or anything, but that is an actual fact. We've had some really, really tough decisions, especially in the Premier League with these, or mainly in the Premier League, with some of the calls. But a lot of teams have. But I mean, so that sucks. That sucks. But it is what it is. That happens in football. All teams go through it one way or another. So with that being said, just looking forward to Wednesday, of course. Tuesday as well, just to see who will be in the final, who on that side will advance from the final from Bayern and Real Madrid. But yeah, looking forward to Tuesday or Wednesday and or both days. The Champions League, I should say. I'm looking forward to that in general, both games, and then obviously the rest of the season. So, but first things first, yes, Roma. Um, and yeah, I just again, to go back to how the game plays out, I just don't. They have to come out aggressive, and they'll probably play very similar to the way they did last time, which was definitely non-defensive, and they tried to catch us on counters and tried to catch us on set piece and things of that nature. And they pulled those two out at the end, but I see this team really dominating. To be honest, I think I said it earlier. I think 3-4-0. That's just what I believe. They may grab one, they may grab two, but I think we'll have more than them. And at the end of the day, that'll get us over. So no score prediction really here. But yeah, I think it'll be a lot to little, and on aggregate, we'll go by pretty easily. So, which would be nice because then we can kind of just focus on the last couple games in the Premier League, and hopefully that'll get us some momentum going into the final. So, yeah, just coming up with a few thoughts, nothing major. But thank you guys for hanging around, Carl and whoever else that is on the channel. And I will see you guys soon. Thank you.